I've made some arrangements and I really have to go. It was lovely to meet you. Bye.
Oh, Will.
What of all the nerve?
Well, really?
You see what I have to put up with?
What's a nice girl like you drinking in a place like this?
Harvey Wallbangers.
Sounds like fun.
Actually, it's a cocktail.
Go on.
They're very expensive.
I can afford it.
Oh, this is a friend of mine.
Oh. No. Never mind. Next time, perhaps.
Who is that? Just some creep on the Meg. What do you want to drink?
White wine, I think.
Let's sit over there.
I know she means well, but I just can't go on living there. She's making everything so much worse. If I could afford it, I'd move out and find a flat of my own.
Hey, why don't you move in with me? Well, my father pays rent, so you'd only have to pay for food and grog.
Oh, that'd be great. But what would your father think?
Oh, he'd love it. He thinks I'm unsafe by myself.
Mrs. Whitten would hate it. Although I could say that she'd been a great help, helping me get settled in and all. That'd probably salve her ego. I don't think she likes having me there anyway. The trouble is, my parole. We're not even supposed to be seen having a drink together, let alone sharing the same place.
Oh, don't be so negative, Karen. Now, you only need permission from your parole officer, and Jean's a pushover. She'll understand. Besides, you're a star pupil. Well, tell her it'll be convenient to uni.
Yeah. Right. Well, I think I'll go and see Jean right now. Do you want to come with me?
Oh, sorry, I can't. I've got an appointment with my doctor at evening surgery. It's that dishy doc of yours from the prison. He's got rooms quite close, didn't you know?
No, I didn't know. Well, I'm going to go and see Jean. I don't think I could stand the suspense of waiting until tomorrow.
Right. I'll see you in the morning. Move in any time.
Well, just what's going on?
This is an official complaint about the lack of medical attention. We've got a lot of claims. 1, injuries must be treated by qualified medical staff. Doreen could lose that foot from gangrene. 2, constant medical supervision is required to prevent malnutrition and food poisoning.
That's telling him, V.
Shut up. 3, prisoners with dicey conditions must have access to competent medical staff at all times. We could all die of the plague in here, and we're not moving until something's done about the unhealthy climate of this prison.
I can sympathize with your concern about medical services, but as you know, the department has been notified. We are waiting for them to act.
Well, we're not going to budge until they do.
I shall get a doctor to Doreen immediately if you agree to go straight back to your cells.
Right, we've got them now, girls. But not just any doctor will do. We want Dr. Miller. Right, girls?
Yes.
Dr. Miller.
Right.
And if I get him, you'll go back to your cells?
Yes.
Then you'd better go. He's treating her now.
Oh, now pull the other one.
I am not in the habit of lying.
I reckon she's on the level. She's always been straight before.
You'll have to prove it.
I am not going to take him away from his consultation to drag him to this shouting match. If you like, I shall take you to him. But the others must go back to their cells.
Oh, no way.
They just want to get their hands on you. Oh, don't go, B. We wouldn't know what to do without you.
The others will go back to their cells if you take me to the dock and then bring me back here. Agreed?
Agreed.
Oh, don't go, B. It's a trap. Make him come to us.
But he can't leave Doreen. And like you said, Davo's always been on the level before. You've got a deal.
Very clever. I'll have her taken straight to solitary.
You will do exactly as I promised.
You're not going to let her get away with this. It's blackmail.
I am not going to break my word. You will escort her to the surgery and then to my office.
All right, you lot, sit tight till I get back. Monty, you're in charge, and don't let anyone in. You sure started something this time, didn't you?
Oh, yeah, blame me. It's all right until Queen Bitch gave it to me about Leanne like that. She sure buggered things up.
Yeah, well, it hasn't done much for my parole either. We're all in it now.
Who's going to look after Mum and the kids? I got to kill her for this.
Now, hang on a second. You started it all.
Oh, all I did was do me block. Then she's got to go and big note herself.
Yeah, well, I don't reckon she meant that. But listen, if we can persuade the others to go quietly back to their cells, we'll be in the clear.
Yeah, and then all the screws will put all the blame on her.
Now, come on, Doc, you saw what happened. Doreen nearly lost her foot from gangrene. We just can't do without you. And what's your Hippocratic oath about anyway?
Now, let's not exaggerate. Doreen's foot was infected. It wasn't gangrenous. I now have another community of patients to look after who are just as dependent upon me as you ever were. And if the Hippocratic oath means that I have to treat everyone in the world, doctors would have been extinct years ago.
Now, what about us?
Look, I do have my own problems. I've done my time here. Surely you can appreciate that. It's up to the authorities to replace me.
Can't stick it, eh, Doc? Interferes with your sex life. Yeah, I suppose you got a point there.
It won't work, Bea. I'm running late for evening surgery. Just make sure Doreen keeps taking those antibiotics. Goodbye for the last time.
Oh, after you. What's the state of the nation?
B. Smith has the women barricaded in the dining room till they get a resident doctor. And don't look at me, my practice is already overflowing.
Something's got to be done about that woman. She's getting too big for her boots.
Yeah, too much telly. She thinks she's Bob Hawke, hardline negotiator for the oppressed, all out for Medibank.
Well, we'll soon see about that.
Well, he's gone. Now what are you going to do?
Well, there's nothing I can do. But you must be convinced by now that Doreen will be all right.
Look, don't think you're going to slide out of it like that. What's going to happen next time? He won't come back.
It's in the hands of the authorities. I agree, we need a medical practitioner. But at the moment, my hands are tied.
Well, you better do something about it and soon, because we're not going to leave that dining room until we get a doc permanent.
I can't do anything now, Smith. In the morning...
Look, I've heard all of this before, and we're not going to budge until our demands are met.
Take Smith back to the dining room, Miss Bennett.
Oh,
immediately, Miss Bennett.
Mrs. Jackson? What is it, Ferguson? Mrs. Jackson, we want to make a deal with you. Well, I'm not going to bargain with you. Come on out of there and go back to your cells. Yeah, well, that's just what we're going to do.
But we're going to wait for Bea.
She put me in charge, didn't she?
Dismantle the barriers and I'll open the security doors.
Oh, you can't do that. You'll ruin everything. What about Doreen?
She'll be okay.
We'll do just that if you promise to tell the parole board that I broke this up.
And I didn't want no part of it.
You've got to wait for Bea.
I'm not scared of her.
But we'll all cop it.
Yeah, what do you think's going to happen now? Breaking it up is the only way.
What about Doreen?
Now, look, she'll be okay. You heard the crack's with her now. Now, come on, let's clear these tables away. Pretty decent for a screw. But you wouldn't have sent me back.
I certainly wouldn't. You'd be in solitary right now if I had my way.
Everything's under control now. Where are you taking that prisoner?
To the dining room.
Put her into solitary.
My instructions are that
Are you questioning the orders of a senior officer, Miss Bennett?
Certainly not, Mr. Fletcher. Come along, Smith.
Oh, you can't do this to me. I was promised.
Let's go.
Come on, oh, teach me to trust a screw. I demand to see the governor. Get your hands off me!
All right, I'm coming. Oh, Karen.
Hi.
Come in. I thought you were the taxi truck.
Don't tell me you're moving again.
I was only here between flats. But sit down.
Thanks.
I'm moving to a more permanent one now.
That's what I wanted to talk to you about.
About me moving?
No, me moving. I know Mrs. Whitten means well, but I just can't stay there any longer. I mean, she's been hitting me with all this nagging and Bible bashing.